Welcome to Cats Whiskers TV Overtime. A lot bigger show this week. In fact, it should be called Overtime Penalties, Man of the Match Awards, and the little wavy flaily celebration thing at the end. And the drinking afterwards. Yeah. With me, as ever, Paul Barm, and our special guest from Panthers Hockey Live, Andy Haywood.
Evening.
Good evening. We've got plenty to talk about. We'll be talking about the Kelsey Wilson slash. We'll also be looking at the various player movements in the Elite League today. So Mr. Beauregard returning to the Panthers as well, and we'll be looking ahead to the weekend games against Coventry. But first, I think we'll cover the Kelsey Wilson slash. We've all seen it, all seen the footage. Those of us who were there saw the aftermath and what happened. So I'll come to you each individually first. Andy, we'll start with you. What did you think of it? Do you think the ban was fair? And if not, why?
Well, firstly, the incident on the whole, the slash is awful. It's bad. There's no denying that. There's no going away from that. The footage shows it. The ban, I personally think, is very lenient. As a Panthers fan, it's great. But looking at it from a neutral perspective, it is extremely lenient, and I was very surprised it was only 3 games.
Paul?
I pretty much agree with that. I think 3-4 games after there. I mean, it's a stupid, reckless thing to do. He deserves everything he gets. But the Elite League have proved something that I wrote in an article for the Cats Whiskers a long time ago, that basically he got 2 games because it was against Sheffield. He got 2 games because it was on TV and it all got recorded. I mean, it's all about the Brad Voth on Ashley Tate thing, where Brad Voth got 6 games for checking somebody who wasn't looking, and in that he got another 2 games because it was on a Brit on Ashley Tate. But so 4 games I thought would be about right for that.
Well, I thought stupid, reckless, dangerous. I think he cost us the game, or certainly contributed to costing us the game. I thought originally 5 games, maybe 6, but when you look at it against other instances, Aaron Clark of Belfast last season aims a stick at Andy Carson's head, gets 6 games. Thomas Holofsky, the Edinburgh netminder, kicks out at someone, which is far more dangerous because you effectively got a blade strapped to your foot. He gets 5 games. So I think 3 games was actually the correct call when you compare it to those other incidents, and the Elite League have to show consistency, or the disciplinary committee do. And yeah, as Steelers fans may wail and moan and whatever, which, well, yeah, they will, that's what they do. But, if you compare it to those other events, I think 3 games is fair enough. Yeah, I think on a reality level it should have been more because it was dangerous, but compared to those, I think 3 was fair enough. But also, coming from that was not only the reactions that came out of Sheffield after it happened, but Simon Ferguson's reaction.
Well, on Thursday night at the game, I didn't see any of the incident at all. I literally saw Ferguson skating towards Wilson, dropping his gloves, throwing his helmet halfway across the ice, looking for a fight, basically. The linesman pulled him off, and then the next thing, the arms were flailing and he was lying back on the floor and being helped off the ice by the trainer. So naturally my initial reaction was what's gone off, and that kind of thing. But having watched the video back, obviously you see the slash and it is nasty, and it will really hurt, don't get me wrong. But there would have been padding there, but it's wafer thin. It's not going to stop the impact like that. But although it's been heavily edited, you can just about make out a couple of bits of what I think is maybe not overreaction in the sense that it's going to really hurt, but very much that's the whole sort of football. Yeah, sort of a bit over the top. And I mean, it's one of them things. Like I said before, he's hurt. There's no denying that. He's going to have at least a bruise. But the reaction from being dead on the ice to jumping up, trying to throttle somebody, to then going back to being dead on the ice just seemed a bit over the top for me.
I mean, some may say that it's adrenaline, you don't feel the pain straight away and afterwards, but I mean, I tend to. I think Andy summed it up pretty perfectly for me as well.
Yeah, I mean, you watched the very carefully edited footage because I wasn't at the game, so I've only seen that. So, I mean, as well with that, you don't see what had happened before, if anything had. And yeah, I mean, but you know, we don't want. It's like, you know, the football over exaggeration. You know, you don't want to see that. We're constantly told, but a lot of the time by people from Sheffield, you know, that hockey players are warriors, this, that, and the other. Well, didn't look like that, and it has to be said, neither did any of his teammates.
Yeah, I mean, well, I suppose you could say interesting reaction, but it wasn't really a reaction.
No.
They just turned to the ref and opened their arms. I mean, I was amazed, quite frankly, that nobody on the team, not one of them, actually went and...
Yeah, I mean, you two both play reg. What would have happened if you'd been on the ice? I mean, no, if you'd been on the ice, not a lot. You wouldn't have got
I'd have probably fallen over on my way to get to him, but they would have been... There'd have been a bench clearance if that happened at rec. So, and don't forget, I mean, rec is guys who generally work for a living. So these, well, I don't really want to think about what would have happened at rec because it wouldn't have been pretty.
Not some of the guys on your team.
No.
But I mean, at the end of the day, that's the only part where there hasn't been an overreaction. Because you know.
In my eyes, there should have been at least some reaction.
I agree entirely. But you know, it's. I mean, we only have to look at the forums if you want an overreaction. I mean,
and on both sides, I mean, the Steelers are very good at overreacting, but we've got our own as well. Mind you, I have to say, to stick up for Panthers fans somewhat, I don't think any Panthers fan said that it wasn't dangerous and didn't deserve a ban. But I think there's also some in Sheffield who would have only been happy if they'd have brought some gallows out to centre ice and hung him.
I mean, next game they don't need another Freddie Mercury impersonator, do they? Just get a set of gallows, centre ice. It's what they give them what they want. I mean, hanging's used to sell out. Look at, you know, gladiators in ancient Rome, always popular. That's what they want.
There you go, Tony Smith. Marketing opportunities from Cats Whiskers TV. I think this is going to continue for a while. I'm sure we haven't heard the last of it, but there we go. Panthers take on Coventry in 2 games this weekend. Start of a big period of games for the Panthers, where they face 7 games in January against Erdart Conference opponents. Paul, Coventry.
Sure. Yes, Coventry.
What do you think?
I don't like the way the ring road goes all the way around the outside.
Andy.
Realistically, we should be quietly confident. I wouldn't say comfortable. Quietly confident about both games, especially after the last performance in the Skydome, which was pretty much perfection. We played the most amazing road game I think I've ever seen. Obviously, we're an import down, which makes it tougher, but then Coventry come back and say, well, we're however many imports down.
Yeah. I mean, I suppose they had a big blow this week in that Matt Bolesky's gone back to the NHL, played New Year's Day, and practically won the game for Coventry on his own. He was incredible in a 5-3 victory. So that's going to give them a bit of confidence, even though they are so far down coming in. But it's a huge loss, and then with the other injuries they've got as well.
Yeah, I mean, I think Bolesky is going to be a big loss for them. I was worried, you know, that we wouldn't have Wilson. Someone, you know, who's going to play, because Coventry normally play a competitive style. Whether they can do that this weekend remains to be seen with a shortage of bodies. But Bolesky is somebody who needs to be controlled, and you know, without Wilson there, we were going to find that harder. With him gone, I think that's improved our chances a lot. Yeah,
because I mean, looking at they are in a real injury crisis. They're missing the Brit Sam Smith. It's been announced today that Mike Shutt, the defenceman, needs an operation and he won't be playing. Domish is already out with a broken rib. They're obviously missing Guthrie. So behave. They're obviously missing Guthrie, and Bolesky's gone. So down to 7 imports. Ryan Juranek was seen in the Sky Dome on New Year's Day. Whether they're looking to sign him, they need bodies, not the sort of body they need, I don't think, though.
No, I completely agree. He's a decent team guy, and I know a lot of the Coventry fans seem to enjoy his presence last year when he was here. But if they need to be winning games, and unfortunately Brian Jurenek's not going to be a game changer for them.
I just thought who they could bring in. James Pease.
It is actually
He's there.
well reminded.
Match nights.
Well reminded. I was having a quick look at Twitter earlier, and Tomo was hinting that James Pease might come back. The only ice hockey player with his own gravitational pull. And I know.
He said that. Him.
I know. Fine one to talk myself, but but I mean, they need bodies, and if he's available, at least he knows the score there. Yeah. He knows how to defend. Why not put him on?
He's a warm body. Exactly. That's what they need. Just park him in front of their net. Nobody will get around him.
I mean, obviously, we cannot take games like this for granted. We've done that before. Edinburgh comes readily to mind. So it's certainly not a gimme, despite all the injuries.
No, not at all. I mean, the 8-0 win, Peter Hirsch made some fantastic saves in that game. I mean, it could quite easily have been a cricket score. But we've seen it before, and we've seen it with some of the lesser teams and that type of thing, where you come against a hot goalie and all of a sudden everyone plays really well. It's all backs to the wall. I mean, you look at our shots on goal most weeks, I imagine we're limiting down to 20 shots on Kowalski, while we're getting 30, 40 shots on the other netminder. I expect very much of the same this weekend, with just for the sheer bodies difference in the teams. But if Hirsch has one of them games where, you know, he pulls out all the stops, it's going to be very tough. A lot rests on him, I think.
As well, when you're in that situation, there's nobody better coaching you than Tomo.
No,
He'll have them fired up and ready. He'll get them doing what they need to do to try and get a result.
Yeah, that's a very good point. You know, you can't, any Paul Thompson team, you certainly can't rule out. No. So, will there be coverage both games this weekend?
Yes, I'll be doing both, I think. Yeah, I'll definitely be doing one or the other, but more than likely both.
So that's at MP Hockey Live on Twitter for Andy and his colleagues' text coverage of all the games. Also, there'll be a webcast. I think it's $7.95 for the game on Sunday. Go to the Coventry Blaze website for details. Plenty of player movements in the Elite League to talk about, and one in particular that we will get onto a bit later. But first, Braehead. There seems to be something going off there.
It's like we're the last one there, turn out the lights. There's something really strange going on. Galbraith's disappeared off the face of the earth. They've got Drew Miller leaving shortly. Tuma was never really there, was he? But he made some interesting comments on Twitter. Nothing derogatory. In fact, it was very complimentary about the job that Kirsty Longmuir was doing there. You know, in very difficult situations. So there's something not right.
Andy?
Yeah, they certainly seem to be dropping like flies at the moment, and yet nothing's really come out. There's been no. You hear a lot of rumours about, especially the Galbraith thing. Is he injured and is going back for some sort of medical reasons, that type of thing? But there's been no official sort of announcements, and even the rumours. No one's really coming out and saying, no, this is what's happening, or this is what I've been told. A lot of it is pure speculation. But one of the telling things for me, sort of behind the scenes problems that they've got, is the Kristanovic's reaction to Zemlak after one of the games, where he openly criticised his goalie on the Sky Show.
So it's probably not a happy camp. I mean, it has been rumoured that Colt King's coming, revealed by Simsy on Twitter before, but nothing from the club. Yeah. So at the moment, it can only be a rumour.
Well, probably. Yeah, I mean, I don't know why he does it, because every time he does this, he gets stick for it, and rightly so. It's not his to announce, but King, well, he's a body. Is he what they need? I don't know, but I mean, you know, look at last season when Finity turned a Colt 45 into a P45 at a very interesting. I've been waiting for weeks to say that, haven't I? Weeks. I had that one to start the season, didn't I?
Yeah.
But
It's been a while.
yeah, was it worth it? No. But I've completely forgotten what I've said. But he's a warm body.
Yeah.
The theme of this evening, a warm body.
Of course, another interesting player movement, not the one you're thinking of. Scott Champagne from Belfast to Sheffield. So, Andy, Champagne or Tesco Value Log?
Well, I've made my sort of opinions clear on Champagne even while he was with us, that although he was putting points up in this league, he certainly seems to be a bit of a bad apple. I don't think he's, especially in recent seasons, not spent a full season with the club. He refused to play for us and then asked for a 2 weeks notice to leave so he could go sign for some big money club in Europe, and then I've heard a rumour that he's not very well liked in Belfast, which is the reason why he's now gone to Sheffield. Looking at Sims's question today about who got the better deal out of Shields and Champagne switch, Belfast certainly look a lot stronger now.
It's an odd one, isn't it? You know, I mean, I was talking to our old mate Paddy Smith, I got it right, from a view from the bridge this morning, and I was saying to him the amazing similarity between the reaction of the Belfast fans and the Panthers fans when Champagne left us and them. It's almost identical.
I don't know really, because I think Champagne improved our team.
Really?
Yeah, when he left.
Wow.
But no, I mean, you only have to look at what happened with us last season. We were a team that we got problems. He really didn't help any of them, and he left, and we did improve.
He was the one that was replaced by Bellamy as well, wasn't he, I think?
No, he was replaced by Reinhan. Right, it was last season.
Was it only last season?
Yeah. No, he was replaced by Ryan, and then Rhett Gordon came in later. Yeah. Okay, and of course, another signing announcement today.
We made another signing there.
Yeah.
I missed it.
Yeah, he was asleep. Of course, David Alexander Beauregard returns to the Nottingham Panthers. Of course, as regular regular viewers of this show will know that the student is a big fan of DAB, and we managed to drag him out of bed at 2:30 this afternoon to get his reaction.
Shall we go and wake him up then?
I think we should.
Honour earners be it. Student! Hey, student! Go on, wake up. Come on, it's 2:30. Come on, got something to tell you. Come on, shake a leg. Come on, got something to tell you.
Whoa.
We've re-signed Beauregard.
Yay.
We can look a bit happier.
Yay.
Oh, great.
I want to sleep.
Yeah.
I think he's slightly happy. But who could? No. But who can blame him? I mean, I don't think I'm overstepping the mark when I say it's a legend. He is a Panthers legend.
He is, in my eyes, definitely. Without a doubt, the most naturally gifted goal scorer I've ever seen. And it still amazes me that he can do it with such ease and such regularity with the disability that he's got. It really astounds me.
And, well, I mean, I was delighted when I heard the news, because he's one of my favourite players. I know he's one of your favourite players, so you must have been happy as well for a change.
I'm not admitting to that on camera. No, but yeah, it's great to see him back. If I can just be me for a minute then. I hope this works. I really do, because we're in a situation, we've got a decent dressing room, decent results. Let's hope. But we know what DAB's like. We know he's a good bloke. Not like the rumours. There are no rumours about him the way they are about Champagne. Yeah. Anybody you talk to has only got good words for him. So, it can only be good, I think.
Yeah. I mean, Panthers as well. Massive statement of intent by bringing in a player of such quality, a known goal-scoring entity in this league at this stage of the season.
Absolutely, and to be fair, as amazing as his goal scoring is, I do think he offers us slightly more than people give credit for. His tenacity and his work ethic is second to none, and he battles along the boards. And like I say, there's been chances this year, especially early on, while players were still finding their groove, where they were chances where you knew Beauregard would have scored, and those chances come every game, and I can't wait to see him again.
And also, as well, the way that Panthers announced it, very clever. I think their manipulation of social media today was phenomenal.
They finally get it. I think they finally got it. They got the idea that you can generate I mean, I personally think they deliberately generated the website crash. You know, because that's even, and it's no wonder there's an article about the website crash, because you know you can't, you know, create that publicity. You know, so well, except I just said they did, didn't they? But you know, so they build up that enthusiasm, knowing that it's going to cause a problem like that, and then they can go, look at this. It's what marketing's about, and it's what, you know, this whole social media, the way you can build up, you can integrate the fans and interact with them. I mean, they're following me now. At Paul BA on Twitter. I'm not very interesting, but I need all the followers I can get. And please. But that's the way you do it. You know, you can talk to people, and that brings them in, because they think that the team's listening to them. It's genius, really, what they've done today.
I mean, I think at the time, 8 out of 10 top trends in Nottingham, in the Nottingham area, were all related with Panthers.
I know what you're going to say now.
I'm not, actually.
Yes, you are.
I was one, and he was another as well.
At Paul BA. Get me up there.
He wasn't. So they played it. I thought they played it really well.
I agree with Paul that I think they're finally getting the hang of social media and stuff like that. And there's part of me that likes to think that Cats Whiskers itself and MB Hockey Live have sort of shown them that, but there is interest there, because they were always reluctant to delve into social media, despite the fact that every other team had them. I mean, to be fair, they were always the last to have a decent website. Everyone else had got the TV highlights and the radio stuff, and then obviously we caught up. And I think the reaction that people give things like Cats Whiskers Live, when that was going, obviously the TV show that we're doing now, and Panthers Hockey Live on Twitter now, I think the reaction people are getting is, you're always going to get your odd people that moan and stuff, but the general consensus is that it's working. And I think Panthers have now seen that and thought, well, we can get on this bandwagon. And I agree that this whole thing was brilliantly done by Panthers today. And
of course, this is TV, so there's no exclamation marks for you to get moaned at. It's not.
If I could put them in, I would.
Can't misspell things.
Well, that's true. So I think the general reaction, we're very happy that DAB is back.
Yeah, as the other thing is as well, I personally hope that there's going to be a few one-to-one shooting sessions with Clarkey as well. That would cheer me up a bit.
Yeah, but he's not been hitting the target, and to be fair to Clarkey though, he's grabbing the assists. He's working both ends of the ice, so
he's doing a lot more. He's doing a lot more than he ever has done. But if he can find that rhythm again, we'll become.
And I think he will. I think he's one of those things with Clarkey. He's a confidence player. I think once he gets one, it'll become two, and then they'll suddenly flow from there. I'm certainly not jumping on the bandwagon that a lot of people seem to be doing. But we're not going to end it on the negative. Yeah, we're not going to end it on the negative note. David Alexander Beauregard's back.
And I'm happy. We'll stop it there.
And we're all happy. I think we will leave it there. Thanks. Thanks. Yeah. I know who you are. Yeah. You'll be back with us next week on the proper show. Andy, thanks for joining us. I really appreciate you coming along as a guest. And we do leave you with the news tonight that Panthers celebrity butcher, Johnny Putsai, former Panther of course, is working on a new product. We believe the Kelsey Wilson chop will be in shops very, very soon. Until next week, see you then.